Although we are known as a nation of animal lovers, cases of cruelty are on the increase. Each year, the Scottish SPCA has to save thousands of domestic pets, horses and farm animals, and wildlife from harm and danger. The Society is giving us a behind-the-scenes look at the lengths they have to go to in rescuing Scotland's injured, abandoned and abused animals. Coming up, a young swan bites off more than he can chew.
Ah, look, look, look.
And what is lurking in this garden shed?
Oh, the smell.
Linlithgow Loch near Edinburgh. There's been a colony of swans here for decades. In 2003, a number of them died when cooking oil was deliberately poured into the water. It destroyed their waterproof system and they froze to death. Now, there's another problem with one of them.
Good morning, Scottish SPCA.
Hi there, I wonder if you can help me. I'm at Linlithgow Loch. There's one of the swans got a line stuck down its throat.
All right, OK. Where about in the loch is he?
Down in the front and about maybe 20 yards along to the right, towards the fishing lodge.
What I'll do is I'll take a note of your name and your number and I'll get the details passed out to an animal rescue officer, if that's all right.
In her 8 years as an animal rescue officer, Connie O'Neill has saved many injured swans.
As long as there's people feeding the swans, we can get a good look at them. So if we can spot the one, then we can just pull it out the water.
Connie knows spotting the bird will be easier said than done with more than 60 on the loch. She needs to find it fast, before the hook and line does further damage.
Sometimes you can pull it out, other times it's just too tight. You have to take it to the vets and get it taken out. But we just want to see if we can spot it first of all. I'll just have a look further along. Is it there? There! Yes! Right, that one right at the edge. Ah, oh, yes!
The swan's drifting away from the side, so Connie will have her work cut out to catch it. But she's still got one more trick up her sleeve.
Excuse me, have you still got some food left?
Connie's asked Loch Ranger Ian Lewis to stand by with a custom-built swan bag, while she and an anxious bird lover try to tempt the swan closer in with some bread. It's best not to use white bread when you're feeding birds. It's harder for them to digest. It's looking good, and it's time for Connie to pounce.
Very, very good. Very good then. Oh, the hook went and...
Got it! It's all right, we can get that out. Oh, you're wet, and so am I. Doesn't always work that way, does it?
Connie now has to work out exactly how badly the young swan is injured.
Ah, look, look, look. Stuck in the tongue. Oh, it's going in all different directions. Pull that. That's it, that's it.
Connie's still worried about the damage caused by the hook, so she'll be taking the swan to the Scottish SPCA's Wildlife Rescue Centre at Middlebank in Fife for a proper checkup.
It's got a bit of a damage to its tongue, but apart from that, we got it. Hey, it's like a handbag.
A farm cottage near Bowness in Scotland's Central Belt. It's a house the Scottish SPCA have visited often over the past 2 years. The man who rents it has been banned from possessing animals because of the conditions he kept them in. But there's been a report he's back to his old ways. So Inspectors Tracy McNaughton and Leanne McPake have been sent out to investigate. There's no answer at the door, so Leanne and Tracy have a look around to see if they can find any proof the man is keeping animals. The garden is like a jungle, full of stinging nettles and weeds, so it's hard to spot anything. Then Leanne makes a discovery.
cat and kittens. They're in the bushes. The kittens just scooted off there and just behind Mum through the nettles. So we'll just have a look. You can see there's a lot of cages and things about. Oh, the smell.
Hot on the scent, Leanne and Tracy find more cats in another shed.
Oh, hello, Poppet. There's another dish of cat food. How he's getting down here, I don't know.
A full bowl indicates someone has been feeding the cat recently, but Leanne is still anxious about its welfare.
My concern for this cat is the lack of hair. You can see its tail and its back end and down its legs. It looks as if it's probably had kittens fairly recently. Will you Poppet? Coming over?
Leanne and Tracy need to establish if the cats belong to the tenant of the cottage. To do that, they have to track him down.
Hello?
But for now, no one is home.
We've found some cats and kittens. He's got food there that suggests that he's been feeding them recently. What we really want to do is get in the house and see if he's keeping any pets inside. The garden is overgrown, so it's a bit of a sort of play park for cats. What we've seen through the windows, it doesn't bode well. So we'll have to wait until we get inside and take it from there and see what we find.
They're about to leave, but there's a twist in the plot. The farmer who rents the cottage has calves in a cowshed.
How many boys have they got? 1, 2. See, that one there's got a snotty nose. I know.
And their condition is far from ideal.
This calf here has really bad ringworm, which is a fungus infection, and it's very common and very treatable. It's highly contagious.
What else will inspectors Leanne and Tracy uncover on the farm? Greenock, 30 minutes south of Glasgow on the west coast. The Scottish SPCA have received a complaint that 5-year-old West Highland Terrier Gilly is being regularly abandoned outside by his elderly owners. Senior Inspector Nicky Scott's been called to see if the accusation is genuine or if, as often happens, a neighbour is upset by a barking dog.
Hello? Hiya.
Come in. A complaint about a dog.
But if it's a barking complaint, we don't get involved with barking complaints.
That's all it was.
The elderly couple both use hearing aids and sometimes can't hear Gilly when he barks, but the neighbours can.
People phone us and talk about a dog barking.
Yes, yes.
Now, the SSPCA don't get involved with barking dog complaints.
Yes.
So we've probably said to them, look, if it's a barking dog, you have to complain to the council. And then they add a wee bit of spice on to get us out.
Yeah, we've had a bit of bother.
You're scratching your tummy.
Belly hurts, right, that's what he does with his
That's
belly.
call it a belly walk. He runs along the carpet.
Shown off.
Shown off. I'll just take a couple of details to say that I've spoken to you, but that's absolutely fine. As I say, if it's only barking, we don't have anything at all to do.
A lovable dog.
What's his name?
Gilly.
There's no case to investigate, but Nicky has spotted something that could put Gilly at risk in the future. Our injured Swan has now arrived at the Scottish SPCA's Wildlife Rescue Centre in Fife. Connie is handing him over to the centre's manager, Colin Seddon, who'll be looking after the bird until his tongue has healed.
Fish and tackle in there.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a wound on its tongue, that's all. It's not a nice wound. Okay. It was Linlithgow Loch.
Yeah.
This swan is lucky. Sometimes, fishing line winds itself around a limb, causing deep wounds which become infected and can lead to an amputation. But the hook only snagged his tongue.
Nice standing, that's good. We'll just get some antibiotics for that.
Yeah, good stuff. Got something that can help that?
I can.
He'll survive.
Connie's become a bit of an expert on swans over the years. She has a pair that she visits regularly at Deadridge Pond in Livingston after she's finished her shift.
That's the mum over next to the babies, and that's the dad. I do love the cygnets. I do love the cygnets. That's Edna. She's been here for years. She was on her own last year and the male came in, courted with her, and now they've got little ones. And she would have had 6 of the other eggs attached, but she was in the wrong place. She'd picked the wrong place. She was round about the same area, but they've done a lot of work to it and they've put more into the island. So it's made it closer to the edge. So dogs, foxes, cats, everything can get in there. It can scare her off the nest long enough for them to die as well. So if she's off there for about half an hour, the eggs go cold and that's it. So the little ones are quite lucky ones. See Edna just now, she's got something hanging down. A lot of the time we get calls about they've got fishing line or something and it's not, it's a bit of weed. Yeah, I do like these swans.
Inspectors Leanne and Tracy are at a dairy farm near Bo'ness in central Scotland.
That calf's concerning me, that's really lame.
They've discovered welfare problems with the farmer's herd. He's been alerted and they're taking a closer look.
I got about 57 as well. And then calves, how many calves are we looking at?
It's not unusual for farmers to have lame cattle, but this is a small herd and there are more unfit animals than you'd expect.
8 or 9 lame cows in a herd isn't necessarily a huge amount, but his herd is relatively small. So 8 or 9 cows, percentage-wise, is quite a high percentage, which isn't really acceptable.
The problems don't end in the field. There are cows in the byre which are in very poor condition.
Look at the way she's actually... Yeah, she's really, really sore. So we're just going to have a quick look at these and have another look at the calves over there. You're always going to get lameness issues. You're always going to get a cow that an accident happens where they've fallen and hurt themselves, where those ones were just, their feet have overgrown, and that's why they were lame and they haven't been treated. You know, you could see that one that as it walked down, its foot had curled back and the actual foot was moving. It shouldn't be doing that, and that should be sorted. I've got his phone number, so I'm just going to phone him and get him back up here and have a word.
Our young Swan will find out today if he's well enough to be allowed back to Linlithgow Loch.
Oh, it's not happy already, look at that!
His tongue got mangled after swallowing a fish hook, and he's been on a course of quick-acting antibiotics. It's time for Connie to check on his progress with the Wildlife Rescue Centre's manager, Colin Seddon.
A quick check of that, look at that.
Oh, that's like night and day.
Yeah. Well, it just shows though, doesn't it? You did exactly the right thing, whipped it out, and damage was minimised, so it's good.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Well, now what we're going to do is, Connie's going to take him back where she got him from.
Yes.
He can join his relatives and the rest of the swans.
In Greenock, Inspector Nicky Scott's handling an accusation about Gilly, a West Highland Terrier. It's turned out to be a barking complaint by a neighbour, which the Scottish SPCA don't deal with. But Nicky's noticed a health issue with the dog that his owners seem unaware of.
Did the vet say he was too fat, no?
I did say
Aye.
it's a bit
Has he been
fat.
putting a wee bit of a diet?
He's getting that dry food.
We're getting there.
Dry. You can over.
All right, okay.
Get that food.
Do you two give him treats all the time?
He always gets something. It's toast in the morning.
Oh, you're a wee fatty, aren't you? All I'd say is see if you can get a wee bit more weight off him.
Oh, yes.
I will do. We'll try it.
If Gilly's weight doesn't
Yeah,
come
quick
down,
for a
he could
rescue,
develop
isn't he?
diabetes and other medical problems. So the treats will have to stop for a while. And Nikki also wants to make sure Gilly will be okay long term.
So if anything was to happen,
That's all
touch
I can
wood.
because I think I wear my bed at night.
Right.
Then goes wrong. I just press a button, the voice comes on.
Listen, I'll leave my name and our telephone number. See if you were ever struggling and you were needing to put him into kennels for a wee while.
Right.
We can help with that. So don't find that you're ever stuck. They both wear hearing aids. I think they're both deaf, and they said the dog had been barking. But barking complaints aren't something that we deal with. We're there for the welfare of animals. People do call us with barking complaints, and when we say to them that we don't get involved with barking complaints, could they contact their local council, they sometimes then add a bit of spice, whether the dog's thin or it's been left outside or it's getting beaten, or just to get us to come out. And I think that's what's happened in this case, just to get us out. They've added a wee bit of spice to it.
In Bo'ness, it's time for Inspectors Leanne and Tracy to confront a farmer about the poor condition of some of his cows and calves.
We'll walk round the farm with you just now and see your calves as well. We've found a few wee issues that we'd quite like to go round with you. How many calves have you got at the minute?
We've had some away.
Oh, have you?
We've been moving quite a lot of calves lately.
All right. Are you reducing numbers?
Oh, we're putting them away.
There are welfare issues everywhere.
And that's a bit deep, Jimmy. When was the last time you bedded that?
They've got straw in there.
When did you clear it out last,
just
though?
Now. Oh, it was cleared out about, maybe 6 months ago, at the beginning of the season.
Because, I mean, that's a fair depth for such small calves as well.
These ones are actually getting sold.
What's the time frame? Are we looking at a week, a month, what?
The next month or so.
Next month or so.
It seems Farmer Jimmy has had enough of the hassle of running a dairy farm.
There are certain things we can do to remedy them. It is tricky to keep on top of these things. We've, as I say, we've had that much hassle this last year or so. The livestock's going away. That's what's happening.
But Jimmy will still have to sort out the problems with his herd before he sells it.
I mean, you know you shouldn't have got it to that stage, though. You should have nipped it in the bud earlier on. Right, Jimmy, what we're going to do, we're going to issue the welfare notice in regards to the lameness of the cattle.
Right.
There was about 8 or 9 that we seen in the shed would have been that were severely lame, all different issues. That calf as well, I mean, that's really sore.
The vet was at one a while ago, and he thought it would maybe come right.
Right,
So
okay.
I'll get an eye look at it tomorrow.
I'm just going to reiterate about the bedding and things, regular bedding. I think that shed that we just seen, I mean, you really need to get it cleared. I know they're going away soon, but it's thick. In this case, this gentleman is selling up and closing off his dairy herd. The ground effectively will be turned into crops, so he won't have any livestock anymore. So for us, that'll be a good result. For him, at this point, if he improves things like lameness, it will help the condition of his cattle. Therefore, he'll make more money when he's selling them up and putting them through the rings. So it's a win-win for both of us.
Jimmy complied with the welfare notice and a few weeks later sold off his animals. It was also good news for the cats Leanne and Tracy found earlier living in a shed. After further inquiries, the inspectors discovered the tenant of the cottage is no longer living there, and the cats were taken into care and found new homes. Back at Linlithgow Loch, Connie prepares to release her young Swan back into the wild. He's made a full recovery from a very nasty fishhook wound to his tongue, and now he's ready to rejoin his friends on the water.
They usually get excited here, so I'm just stopping just to lift away. Okay. Wonderful. It's just the most amazing feeling. That's what makes you so happy in your job. This is what it's all about for me. You have such rotten days sometimes when you can't manage to save anything, and then you have days like this when you're bringing something back to the wild that probably thinks it's never going to get back there. It is a really good feeling, it's amazing.